Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of SASA Archeo Gaming Live, featuring SASA gamers Dr. Kate Minetti, Alexander Vanderwally, David Serrano Lorenz, and Julie Levy, and featuring special guests each week. What is SASA? SASA stands for Save Ancient Studies Alliance. We work to promote the study of the ancient world and engagement with our human deeper past, building a grassroots movement through outreach, collaboration, accessibility, and public scholarship. We work towards our goal of inspiring a wide, inclusive community of scholars, learners, and students. SASA does this through many different projects. We do Archeo Gaming live streams every week. We also have book clubs and partnership streams featuring other ancient studies organizations. We also have an access database with over 1,300 websites, a searchable database of ancient studies resources, ancient studies vocabulary lists on archaeological terms, and we do research on the downward trend and much more. So please check us out. Where can you find SASA? You can search Save Ancient Studies Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or X, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Please make sure to follow and subscribe. It really does make a big difference for us. Some protocol for this live event. Please be kind and respectful. Listen and ask thoughtful questions throughout the event. We'd love to hear from you in the chat box. Please be patient with technology and those administering it. And these Archeo Gaming live streams are on Twitch, and recordings will be posted on our YouTube channel after the event. And there are definitely spoiler alerts. Last but not least, if you enjoy what you see from SASA, such as our Archeo Gaming book clubs and reading groups, please consider becoming a supporter of SASA with a recurring donation. For as little as $3 a month, you can help us to save ancient studies. You can also subscribe to our Twitch channel for free through your Amazon Prime account. We have information on how to do that on our website. And thank you very much all for joining us. Have fun.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Archeo Gaming Live with Save Ancient Studies Alliance. I'm Julie Levy, the Managing Director of Save Ancient Studies Alliance and also your Archeo Gaming host for the summer. So all this June and July, as often as I can make it, Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm playing The Forever Labyrinth by Inkle Studios and talking about art history, mythology, and whatever else crops up. If you want to see our previous episodes of that, they are all here on Twitch as highlights, and they are also recorded on our YouTube channel, Save Ancient Studies. Same deal. If you are here in chat, we'd love to hear from you. Hi, Colin Mungo. I remind you of the babe. What babe? So, to just catch us up, this is our third playthrough of the Labyrinth in Forever Labyrinth. This is designed almost as a roguelike where you kind of have only so long in the labyrinth before you die, or maybe something else can happen. I don't know. I haven't found out yet. And so here's our stats from our last playthrough. I saved a character. I helped the spy escape. I solved one riddle stone. I thought I solved two. Okay, maybe I was wrong or something. And I have inspired 6 new paintings. And by new, I mean the appearance of pre-existing paintings, because these are all from Google Art, which is really kind of fascinating. So we are going to dive back in and see what we can do on our third time through. As I was saying, if you are here in chat, please, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to say hello. Let me know if anything is going wonky with the tech, if something is frozen, or if you can't hear things. Please let me know, because there's no other way I would know. Just checking that I can see it running. Okay, good. So, no, not again, humbug, I've got to do better, says our character, and we have a new note. Colors abound, catching your gaze, cut to show love, and dead within days. Nice little bit of poetry. I think I see it now. It's not a clue, it's a key. key that opens the door to the labyrinth. Oh, we have this lovely vase. Says it's by Cooper Hewitt. I love that we can just go and look at everything. Oh, this is a really interesting design. Honestly, the artwork on the vase itself, the etching or painting, I can't quite tell what method this is from the picture, although I'm sure I can scroll down and find out. It looks a little bit like Chinese in style, but it's probably, it might be Oriental influence in the 1870s ish. But the style of vase and the metalwork is all French. So it was created in Nancy. Acid etched background against which are flying birds with red bills and incised water lilies. Very pretty. Ah! What in the... That's not good. Hope I didn't accidentally start over. My apologies. I'm so used to clicking the back button on the browser when I need to go back, but it's actually... oh no. Well, pardon my missteps. Now that we're here, let's take a look at what this image tells us with a little bit more knowledge of the game. So we have the mysterious figure in the middle, the one who has been killing us every time, and is in search of the source. I've been thinking of her as the monster in the labyrinth, and as her, which we don't actually know. Let's see. We also see the conquistador whom we've met, and the spy whom we've met, and there are some other interesting figures here. We have a black man in a turban, what looks like a Muslim style garb. I'm not exactly sure about that weaponry. Curved sword. It's making me think Turk or Moor, but it might be Mamluk. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll find out when we get there. We have what looks like a man with sort of Mediterranean features in what look to be Christian monk robes. We have a woman in 20s socialite outfits. That style that is meant deliberately to not influence, to not emphasize one's womanly features. So strange. And the giant ropes of pearls, a little bit of a flapper haircut. A fairly, you know, Western European looking dude in a suit. And a little girl, again, fairly Western European looking, but, you know, it could be white American. That's not a very, like, that's a very classic dress, kind of happens whenever. Yes, let me back into the labyrinth, please. Okay, there we go. So, we could go the new direction. And it also has birds and pools. So let's go the new direction. I'm much more interested in that. Blooms. Blooms sound fun. Back in we go. Oh. I hope opened the door with my mind's eye and stepped within the halls of the labyrinth. Now I seem to be in some kind of yard. The grounds of the Chateau of Blooms. I know what I need to do. I need to find a way to reach the source. Well, I have no notion of how that works, so we'll find out. This place is growing. More rooms, more images, more sculptures appear every day. A room of flight today. It is being built around me like a prison, but where are these things coming from? Are they copied or are they removed? And another note. I found a cupboard with a forest inside it, an old idea made whole, and I understood this place a little better. It's like a machine is dreaming, and I am walking around its dream. I believe that is my function here. I am a curator, here to help the machine curate better dreams. Huh. Given the nature of this game, it was made before the AI boom. Although definitely there were the sort of internet deep dreaming things going on, which is a precursor in some ways to our current AI. I have a lot of opinions about AI. Actually, if you're interested in my feelings about AI, there's a video on SASA's YouTube channel, Save Ancient Studies on YouTube, that is a whole discussion between me and a couple other SASA people and some other folks in Ancient Studies with opinions about AI, just talking about what we're calling AI is, what it isn't, what it can do, what it can't do, and what it definitely shouldn't do. So that was from our birthday bash event, and if you're at all interested, I highly suggest it. Oh, motherhood. Simple but beautiful, it says. That's from Krakow. Stanislav Vypiansky. Not one I know. It's got a bit of that modern realism flatness to it. So, not quite what you call Soviet realism, but I think it's got a piece of that. But we don't have anything that indexes into it at present. Hear the sound of running footsteps to my left. Let's find out. AI peaked with Eliza. What, you didn't like Watson? Anybody here? No, but there's an interesting tree stump. Something carved into it. Lines this way and that, like constellations. I can't make out what it's supposed to be. Could use... I don't have anything to rub with, alas. But I do have a new note. Why am I here? Why was I chosen to witness this place? Because I know the value of these things as whoever made this place, feeding on my horror, my shock. But as AI has entered the common consciousness at this point, the conversation has spread, and one of the things that we know about AI and how they're currently made is that they are trained on large data sources. And the way that they're trained on those data sources, like where they get that data, a lot of times is a little bit shady because they have, they have access to the whole internet, which is a lot of people's private data, personal copyrighted stuff, personal artworks, people's blog posts, anything and everything is and can be scraped by these AI and refashioned into something that approximates human output, but it's just a plagiarism bot right now. Generative AI is just taking things that people have done and rearranging them into a slightly unreal configuration, one that hasn't precisely existed before. But AI, as it exists right now, can't think. it can't, as the game calls it, curate. So if this is essentially an AI labyrinth, if it is dreaming, it's trying to take all of these data points, these paintings, these palmistry hands and vases, all of these artworks, and trying to determine how to arrange them in a pleasing way that has conceptual links between them, then it makes sense that we can create new links between places by what we understand in an image. Does this image contain a pool? Does it contain a lantern? Does it contain a bloom? AI can get good at understanding that, but even AI that have been trained for years still sometimes mess up and, present you ask it to find dogs and it gives you a picture of an ocelot. You know, try defining a cat, right? It's difficult to do something that defines all cats but excludes all things which are not cats. I don't recognize any of the concepts here. Oh, members of the Kappa Alpha Theta sorority gathering on the stairs of their house to read letters from home and the daily newspaper at the University of Kansas. This is really interesting, this photo collection. A cat equals a featherless quadruped. Pulls out an image of a horse. Behold, a cat! So that's a Diogenes joke, by the way. For those of for those of you watching along, the philosopher Diogenes, an ancient Greek philosopher who was the founder, as such, of the Cynics, which comes from the word for dog, by the way. Like living like a dog was the idea. Was very firmly rooted in, why don't I just get rid of everything that doesn't need to, like, I don't need to survive? Why don't we just look for the bare minimum truth? Like, why don't we ask questions about why we need all this stuff? We're so highbrow, but Diogenes was not. So I have there's a really popular story about Diogenes. There's a really common sort of philosophical concept about Diogenes, and then I have a favorite story about Diogenes. I'm going to start actually with the last. My favorite story about Diogenes. So he was living in a barrel essentially on the side of the road, and he had nothing on him. His only possession was a little clay cup that he used to get water from the river so he could drink. And one day, he sees a slave boy kneel down to the water and use his hands to cup the water. And he gets really furious. And he smashes his cup because he was holding on to something he didn't need. Even he had not realized that he could live without it. So that's my favorite story about Diogenes. The sort of philosophical concept is Diogenes' lantern is a light you shine on anything to show the truth. It's a purely philosophical construct of, like, if you could have this lantern, what would you see underneath everything? But the really common story about Diogenes is sort of a theoretical matchup between sort of the more commonly understood school of Athenian thought from Socrates through Plato through Aristotle, that kind of branch, of like what is the nature of things. And Plato has this whole, like, the cave with the shadows, and the idea of the real truth of objects is very, there's sort of an ideal out there. And so Diogenes confronts him with, okay, so how do you define a man? And uh, depending on the version you hear, Plato or his disciple or whatever, or just some guy on the street doing the Socratic method says, well, I guess a man is a featherless biped because the only bipeds we've got around here are people and chickens, birds. And so Diogenes goes to the market, gets a plucked chicken, holds it up, and says, "Behold, a man." If you're interested in this direction of ramble, I guess this is the time where I plug my YouTube channel, Zilla's Athenaeum. Um, so you can see my socials down at the bottom of this screen, I think. Yes. And if you want to follow my YouTube channel, I am actually in the middle of writing a Diogenes-based script about trans rights, so, you know. Um, anyway, back to staring at this picture of sorority girls. This is more on the question of what is art. Is life photography art? Is a bunch of sorority girls standing around art? Melanin. Oh, this is art pop. This is very current. This is the Columbia Pictures logo, but the white marble statue has been replaced with a black woman in African garb. It is gorgeous. I've never seen this before. I want to know who. Sharonda Wilburn. Well, Sharonda, I think you did a really great job. That's really cool. Fane's house. All these pictures have stairs in them, so this is the Vineyard of Stairs. All right, cool. So this is how we're curating things for the AI that is whatever this place is, the Labyrinth. Let's keep going. We have our vase again. Oh, I recognize this fellow. This is a balsamarium. it's a vinegar jug. It's a jug. You pour it, and it's in the shape of a harpy, or a siren. Kind of hard to tell which. I wonder. So it's ionic. So it is from presumably the coast of Ionia or modern Turkey. Balsamarium, a bottle for unguents or perfumes in the shape of, it says, a siren. I guess that makes sense if it's for a scent. So this is the perfect gift for somebody who loves birds, women, and jugs. I hear that depending on which slang you're using, most people who like one like all three. So this is. Oh, did it say it was terracotta? It looks terracotta to me. But I can use this. There's a room of birds. There. Ceramic. Oh, it looks terracotta to me. And it's clearly painted. You can see that it wasn't just left the base color. You can see her eyes are painted and her hair was painted. And basically, Greek sculpture was almost never left unpainted. All of the white stuff that you see is due to time or interference. So what else have we got? We've got A beer advertisement. It's so cute. So again, the question of what is art? Are advertisements art? Um, Last week I had on my friend Kiernan, and we were talking about what constitutes art. And she was actually saying to me, "Oh, everything here comes from the source. Does that mean anything can get back to it?" Hi, Spacefall. Nice to have you along. Yeah, it is. It is from Inkle, so creative and weird. Oh, I could. All these pictures, they all have bottles in them, so it's a vineyard of bottles. So our only way forward here is through the birds. Don't worry about missing the beginning. This will all be recorded and it will be up both here and on our YouTube channel. So I have a new note. Arrested while in a forest surrounded by images of faces. When I heard a sound, something padded towards me. I feared it was a wolf and I scrambled to my feet, ran blindly between the trees. They grew thicker and thicker until I could no longer move. The doors here are doors, but the walls are still walls. So now we have faces. That's new. I don't know what dreams are. They're magic I have learned to accept. This place is magic I do not recognize, but that does not make it any more or less real. It is somewhat dreamlike, isn't it? The roots of the avian tree. So we really just have our two images, but I wonder if we can get to faces now from here. Oh, there's something behind this. A key with a leather fob. Seated hotel. So, faces. Faces is new. The walls have changed. A new note. I'm a prisoner. Even now I don't want to admit it, but I've tried every door, and behind every door there's another door. Behind every question is another question. It will drive me mad. It's like it is trying to drive me mad. So we have left, right, and down. We're in the face attic. There's a lot of ways to go from here, yes. An old woman or the ugly duchess. My goodness. Marilyn Monroe. I do know who that is. Marilyn Monroe in the night sky in the Korean Art Museum. Oh, interesting. So, what's the... Oh, this is a painting. Because of... Oh, I guess it's maybe a diptych is what this line is? Diptych being two parts of a painting on different canvases. Marilyn Monroe in the night sky. Hyung-Koo Kang, one of 21 outstanding artists. Wow. Very interesting. So the artist is very interested in famous faces. So we've got 3 faces. We could go back, but we could also go left, right, or down, and I like down. If we're in space, how are all these plants growing? Oh yes, we did see a window that looked like it was out onto space. Are they growing so we can all breathe? There are no paths forward from here. Well, we've got melanin again. And white cloud on beautiful mountains in autumn. A Japanese painting, a Japanese modern painting, I would say, given how the mountains look. Nagoya City Art Museum. I have been there. It is lovely. 1940. That's older than I expected, actually. There's a 1940 is a tough time in Japan. That, of course, being right around when they went full imperialist and entered the World War. Um, there's a sense of Japan's glory days being past or trying to get them back, which does appear reflected here. It's very beautiful and also very recognizable if you've played Breath of the Wild, which incidentally is what I played on this series last summer, as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So let's see what I can do with trees. The helipad of trees. You know, this place, they keep calling it a helipad, but it's really just a roof, like a city roof. There's no pad. This place is the greatest crime that has ever been committed. So much stolen, hoarded, and hidden. It's one thing to let great treasures fall to the ruin of time, but another to preserve them in a place where no one can see them. Interesting. Oh, and we have a note from... I'll try to help you if I can. Find me in the bearded passage. But that is from the figure, who likes to stab us. So I don't particularly want to go chasing the figure. Orientals. From Pokrajinsky... Muzia Pew? I cannot pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Styrian. I mean, that sounds Hungarian to me, and so calling this Orientals, places it in a particular time and place. And what do you think? So I could get to the bearded passage from there. There are beards there. And here we have a lovely landscape painting. This is Impressionist verging on Pointillist, but I don't recognize it offhand. Oh, it is a Monet. It is a Monet. Monet does really like to do this little colored flowers thing here that you see, where he just dots in colors and you get this grand impression of something. Everything's a helipad if you're brave enough, says Colin Mungo. So that's how I got here. I don't want to go to the bearded passage, so I'm going to move on. This is interesting. A self-portrait of Carl Larsson in Malmö. So, self-portraits of artists are always so interesting. The self-portrait is an interesting concept, right? Because you necessarily have to externalize to some degree. You have to take a picture or look in a mirror, or so here he's presumably looking in a mirror that's to his left. Or I suppose. And at the same time, what they choose to depict and how is very fascinating. Like, there's that one portrait artist who did a series of self-portraits of himself in just the silliest faces. You know the memes of that one classic looking guy with the curly wig and everything, but he's going ah, or he's got a bunch of different faces. Those were all self-portraits. And he thought it was funny, and I agree. DeCrew, yeah, I think that's his name. So here we have this guy who has chosen to include a sculpture of a nude woman in almost a Pygmalion fashion, but also a giant book with a sword as a bookmark, but also himself painting, which sort of necessarily, but like this whole setup screams artsy, but also kind of like overdone. So I think that's very fun. So, oh, what did you think? Oh, we could follow this to the hotel. I want to follow that. Maybe I can give someone the key and get them out of here. Lobby of the seated hotel. Ooh, inspect. Yes, please. There's only one hook empty here. Hook has a picture of a smile on it. Does the key fit? It does. But I'll hang on to it. Okay. So we are now in the seated hotel, which presumably everything has seats. Let's see if we can get to room 743. Oh no. The lobby is gone. Neil Breen. I don't remember who Neil Breen is offhand. This is certainly interesting. So, Smithsonian Museum of Asian Art. So I've seen this before. Like the painting that's within this painting. This is a very classic Japanese style of self-portrayal, or well, of the portrayal of other Japanese people, particularly in the Heian era, where they have these elaborate kimono. And so taking that as a canvas and then portraying autumn leaves around it. Very, very clever. I like it. So, what else have we got in here? Well, these pictures have leaves. So this is a very, very modern style. What is this, watercolor? Ayatakano. 2003. Type painting. Acrylic. This is acrylic? Wow, they're very lightly used. But a very modern, cartoony style. Really interesting. It does, in fact, have leaves in the foreground. So here we have the floor of leaves. Let's inspect this door. Is this the door I want? Fabulous. I mean, oh no, this key won't fit. So I guess I need to continue going up. The floor of smiles, it says. $7.43, but it's locked. Here we go. This key should fit. In we go. It's the Flapper Lady, a wonderful fancy apartment. Are you from makeup? I'm supposed to be waiting for someone from makeup. I'm not. I'm sorry. Who are you? It's because I've not been through makeup, you would know me. People always do. What are you doing here? What do you mean? I was in my trailer reading a magazine. This room, I don't recognize this room. What was the magazine? silly thing about canals. I only picked it up because of my name. Thought maybe it was about me. Isn't that ridiculous? I haven't even made the movie yet. Listen, if you see the director downstairs, tell him Ruby Canals is waiting in room 743, okay? Ruby Canals, that's apparently her name. It's not my real name, of course. But it's who I am now. So we just have a cute little hotel room, modern TV, which I'm sure was very confusing for Miss Ruby here. Have you ever heard of the Source? The Source? That's not a drugs thing, is it? I don't know anything about that. No. I know a lot of people in the business who do that sort of thing, but I don't. I won't even drink. The era you appear to come from, that is not super surprising, actually. Although, the business, maybe. I'd like to try and save you. I don't really care. I wish they'd call me. Is it always like this? Oh, so you're a new actress. Is what like this? Work. I thought there'd be more actual work. Did you know we're in space? Excuse me? Are you trying to say that I'm a star? No, I'm serious. I don't understand. She wouldn't. If you went to the wrong place, I don't know that your agent would be able to telephone you. Oh, okay. I guess I can't actually do anything for her. That's sad. Hope this won't take much longer. Maybe I can find her director or something? Well, the lobby is gone, supposedly. Uh-oh. That's no good. Alas, I don't think I can save that woman. Not this time through. Okay, well, what else have I got? This is leaves. What about here? Robes. Robes will do. The Robe Bay. This probably take me to Beards. Looks like he's come out of the desert having written a book. And having befriended a lion. What are my options leaving this way? An overwhelming vineyard. I don't know what that means. And then remove stairs. Ooh. A terracotta figurine. This woman's just walked off with a tower. Saint Barbara holding a tower in the Glencairn Museum. You can see the remnants of paint here too. I don't know how old this is. It's Saint Barbara, so it's not as old as most of the things I work with. Stone with traces of polychromy. So it's stone, not terracotta. I guess the color was tricking me. But no dating. That's interesting. Okay, so can't see a way up from here. I'll have to open a door in one of these. Let's see about the overwhelming vineyard. That sounds fun. Okay, it's no longer overwhelming, now it's cloudy. Ah, I found Professor Sheldrake's hat. And there's something underneath. The wine bottle. Bottled by Monsieur Alaric for the cellars below the grounds of the Chateau of Words. Found myself in a room of eyebrows, standing in front of one of the greatest paintings of all time. I know paintings, I can't be fooled. I looked at the brushwork, the lines, the layers. The painting was original. A famous painting with a prominent eyebrow? Oh, I would bet that's the Mona Lisa. We haven't seen that yet. The Cannon Street Bridge. Bridge might lead to canals. That sounds interesting. Maze? The bridged maze. The Library of Canals. There's a lot of doors to choose between. A crib? A magazine stand. If Ruby was reading a magazine here, it's not here anymore. Someone's taken it. Why would someone do that? To keep her here? Maybe that mysterious figure? There are a lot of doors to choose here. San Giorgio. Of course, I have no notion of which direction to go, but I like up. Up is good. This looks just like Professor Sheldrake's room, except not. It's a copy of the room. I've not encountered this before. It's a note. A blank note. Children studying relief globe. They look less like they're studying it than hugging it. You know, we are the world. American Museum of Natural History. Not a lot of data on what I was hoping to find. It doesn't look like it will take me anywhere interesting, sadly. We've got our melanin, we've got a Frida Kahlo, like a picture of Frida Kahlo's family. Speaking of eyebrows, oh, there are words on it, so I guess let's follow it. Yes, Frida Kahlo, a famous artist married to another famous artist, Diego Rivera, famously disabled and very willful. The grounds of the Chateau of Words. So we want to go below the chateau, the grounds of the Chateau of Words. Let's see. It's a wine cellar. Well stocked but abandoned. And here, whoever runs this place has bottled a lot of wine. Yes. Quite. Somehow I expected more. Well, perhaps we need to keep going. And oh, it's cold in here, and there's the space of an empty bottle. Here's where it came from. There's something here. A heavy iron key. No clue as to what it might open. I have a theory. If I can get there. Uh-oh. I think it goes here. Oh. Good, good. I was right. The key does fit here. Ah, an old monk lifts his head. Come in, come in. I found your wine bottle. And your cellars. I did find your key. The door hasn't opened for I don't know how long. Too long. It's good to meet you. Brother Alaric of Monastery of Ostrog. Are you trapped in here? I suppose not. There are always doors, and many are closed to me now. So you were a cellarer. No, a scribe. Ooh. Copying a certain book of ecclesiastical remarks by dim candlelight in one of the illuminations. A cat. Oh. Oh. Do you want to go back? The winters were cold, the food was scarce, but I miss the company of my brothers. One last thing. He hands something over. A flimsy photo journal with articles about mountains, buildings, and canals. I wonder why this is here. You don't remember? It's yours. Oh. Well, that was interesting. I don't know if I saved him or not. Yes, that's true. I am looking at something. I'm looking at an avalanche in the Alps. Philip James de Lutherberg. It's the romantic style Kieran was talking about last time. Looks very much like that painting at sea. Nothing here to draw me in at present. There's an up, there's a down, there's an out, and an explore. Do you have anything more to say? Maybe you can tell me about the source. No. Did you explore far? Ha! I lost my way many times. I found the winery, the cellars, this place. I have lived here for some time now. Seems to me that the source of this place must be the source of you and I as well. Have you seen Professor Sheldrake? Professor? I have not encountered her. I have not been outside in some time. Interesting that he assumed her. Okay, I can ask you about the key. Okay. Have you ever tried to leave? For a while. Oh, my sight failed me. What could I do? Oh. Why do you ask? He's very poetic, this monk. Suspect this place is not real. Perhaps there's something very strange about myself. Both of us, perhaps. Okay. Well, onward, I suppose. Oh. Uh-oh, the countdown has begun. Kitty! Oh, the hallway of whiskers. The monk was illuminating a cat. I want to follow that. It's not very useful, but I want to anyway. Oh, still with the countdown. Oh, here's the a lectern. Oh. So, the things that brought people in are being stolen. Fascinating. We can go up into the trees? That's an odd painting. Some stack of children's toys or something made giant. The tiny crowd in the bottom. Alright. Thanks for coming, Spacefall. I don't know that that there's anything about playing this that I will have spoiled for you. I'm still very lost. That's a really interesting piece. Oops. Uh-oh. Back to the game, please. Come on. Let me out. So is there anything else around here? Let's go upward. I want to see treehouse. There's a riddle stone. Something written here. When high, they'll have you wrecked. When gone, you can reflect. A wave. Oh, and a note as well. Remember the tiger who'd spared me from indifference. Only one beast here is hungry, only one needs to be more than they are. Even now, at the end of days, only one refuses the conclusion. The overseer, a dark-shrouded figure who stalks the halls like a ghost, muttering and plotting. Yes, quite. Oh, countdown is continuing. We're almost done for the day. A dead end? Hardly dead. I have a riddle. Waves. Absolutely. That was the right answer, but the countdown is continuing. Oh, but I found the book. I don't think I'll have time to get it back to Brother Alaric. Two fish fighting. A tempest event. A tempest event. Colin Mungo says, my favorite Google-hosted puzzle game is sifting through their search results page, past the sponsored ads, trying to find something. Yes. Alas, speaking of AI. Did this give me any way forward? No, I'll have to go left or right because I can't go back. Oh, but maybe I can build a way back. Okay, here we go. So, Cloudy Vineyards, Braided Room, oh, Feline Grove, Lobby. Yes. What haven't we played with today? Eyebrows. Oh, that was enough. Free Japan essay on the Life photo collection. Fascinating. Let's see if I can get back to Alaric. No. Where is his... There we go. Good. Alaric? No? Where are you, buddy? There you are. Give him the book. The smell of the velvet is familiar. The chain was cut. The book was stolen. Why would anyone take it? I think it's because you came here through it. I'm sure of it. This whole place is, in fact, very strange. Well, I hope that counts as saving him, but I don't know. I don't feel like I need to be old for that. Although I'm tired all the time. and older than I often think of myself. I don't want to go to the bearded passage. Boo. Boo witch. Being tired all the time. The way out of this labyrinth within which we find ourselves, my poor friend, I do not know if there is a way out. There did not seem to me to be a way in. You're leaving? I will be here for some time, I should think. I may even go for a little walk outside. It's actually kind of nice where I live today, so you know, maybe the end of our countdown. I was on my feet, but not fast enough. I couldn't escape her. There was nowhere else to go. My legs had no energy left. So, she leered, drawing the blade from under her cloak, you thought you could disobey your overseer. I shook my head and raised my hands, but she only came closer. Oh, we actually get horse sounds. Hello, horse. This is a dead end. Well. Let's see about somewhere new and what happens now that my countdown is passed. Ah, no. There she is. I don't know where it is. Yes, you do! Everything comes from the source. Including you. I'm here to find Sheldrake, not help you. Your professor is here. She went looking for the heart of the labyrinth. I assure you. I don't know how I got here. Well, I kind of do. I called you here to serve me. And here we go. You command it, do you? Huh? What's going on? My cursor seems weird. Maybe I'm not allowed. There's nothing to do. Oh. Never mind. I'm in the mine of flight. And I don't understand what I am allowed to do. I'm going to click off for a second just to see if that changes anything. Nothing. Nope. Nope. I do not wish to do any of those things. Oops. So, ma'am? Miss? Huh. I'm gonna reload the page, because this doesn't feel like it's correct. Ah! Okay, so I didn't manage to save anyone. Although, I think I might have glitched out of that. Well, we'll see. We'll see in time. Well, thank you for joining me on this playthrough of the Forever Labyrinth. Perhaps in the coming weeks I will find out more about how to actually search for the source as opposed to just wandering around. The 1 hour labyrinth. Well, 1 hour till I die each time so far. Thank you very much. Happy to have you here, and hope to see you next time. Be well.